Awesome. Okay. All right. Just giving it all the, okay, just getting everything set up here. We're ready to go. We're recording. And hi, guys.
Hi.
So happy to see you. And thanks to everybody who's joining us. Oh, I see some familiar faces. Hey, guys. How are you? Debbie's going to help us out today by manning the chat for us. So welcome everyone to this interview that I'm going to do with Miss Bibi Goldstein of Buying Time on Evernote. And for those of you who don't know what Evernote is, or maybe you've heard about it, or maybe you're like me, maybe somebody said, and this is a true story, maybe someone said to you, Evernote is a great app, you should download it and use it, right? How many times have we all done that, right? And so it's like, oh, let me do it right now. And you download something and you either A, never look at it again, or B, you maybe look at it, but you don't really know how to use it. And that was my first experience with Evernote. I had a friend, colleague say how great it was. It was not Bibi, it was someone else. And they said, oh, Joy, I'm using it. And they didn't really say how they were using it, but their excitement got me excited. And I thought, oh gosh, this sounds like the answer to all my problems. So I'm going to download Evernote. And I did. I didn't really ever understand how to use it. But here was, by the way, I just got a little download here. Here's a teachable moment, gang. Has nothing to do with Evernote. It's not what you say, it's how you feel about what you say. Got that? Take that in. Because, you see, someone got excited about Evernote, and they were so excited, I got so excited. And so I tried to use it. And it's an amazing tool. And finally, I realized that, and maybe if you're a business owner, you've had some of these experiences in your business where you feel like you're in overwhelm because so many things have to get done at once with a growing, burgeoning business. Maybe you have team members, which I do. My team is growing. And there's all these emails coming into your inbox about projects that you're working on, valid stuff that have to be answered, but it was cluttering up my feed. There's just so many reasons why. I also had a strong desire to go paperless in my office. I was tired of all the piles of paper. And so I finally decided to get serious. And to get serious about anything, you need support. You need to bring in an expert who understands how to do something. So intro, Bibi Goldstein. Yay! Bibi is really a technology expert in many areas. There are many things that we could talk about with Bibi today in regard to technology that she's an expert on, but we chose to talk about Evernote because my business, my team, everything has changed since Bibi came in to train us. So we wanted to share this with you today, and we're going to do a little interview. So Bibi, why don't you intro yourself quickly and tell them a little bit about you?
I have a company called Buying Time. We're a virtual assistant service and help folks with automation, delegation, and just kind of getting those things off their plate that they really shouldn't be doing. And I love the phrase delegating to technology. And I love being able to say you don't have to hire a person in order to get things off your plate. And that's why I love technology so much. Evernote, a variety of different tools that you can use to really get your focus on what you should be doing in your business.
Awesome. And now we also have Miss Debbie Saviano, our resident LinkedIn expert here. And Debbie, woohoo, there's some love. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your business? We're so happy to have you.
Let's hope I don't sound like Star Wars. This is crazy. We did all this morning. It was fine. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to take notes.
Okay. All right. So I'll talk to Debbie because she's having a Star Wars moment. We did test this about a half an hour ago, and nobody was taking off for outspace. So anyway, that's okay. Debbie's going to help us with the chat, but I just want to say quickly that we wanted to have Debbie on this blab with us too, because Debbie's also a technology expert. She's really, for those of you who know her, she's just an expert with LinkedIn, with Twitter, with Facebook, Instagram, you name it. She's there. So she's the perfect addition to this. And just very quickly, I didn't say much about who I am. For those of you who may be joining that do not know me, I'm Joy Chudacoff. And my business for the last almost 11 years has been to help women entrepreneurs enjoy the success, their definition of success, by the way, that they desire, but without burning out. I'm a mom of 2 teenagers. I'm married, and my family and my life outside of my business is very important to me. So I work hard every day to set up a business that allows me to integrate everything. You'll never hear me use the word balance because I don't believe it exists for women, but there is an integration, I think a nice integration that you can use. And that's really what I do and how I really talk with my clients about doing that, which is why Evernote's perfect, because Evernote is a great tool to use to get your life back. So, you know what I think I'll do, Bibi, is real quickly is just share some of the benefits that I have had, our team has had, and then I'd really like for you to take over and talk about Evernote for business owners.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a free tool. When I first downloaded it, I got the free app, but now we are on Evernote for Business, which is a very low cost paid tool now. It's like, I think, $10 for each of my team members to use it each month, which is a bargain for what we're getting. So just real quick, a couple of the benefits that I have experienced is our email communication with team members has decreased by 50%. Now take that in for a minute. 50%. By the way, Evernote's not paying us today for this. This is just something we want to do for you, okay? We're not getting paid for this. But it sounds like it, doesn't it? I sound like a spokesperson. But it has, yeah, a little bit. It has this work chat feature, which I want Bibi to talk about, is a work chat feature where it's not filling up your inbox with emails. You're working together on projects through a work chat. The other great feature that I love about this is that it's helped me go paperless in my business. Because the feature of the notebook feature, everything can be put in its own notebook. You can, and so someone said to me, but Joy, how do you find something specific that's in a notebook? Great question. And so they have tags, which Bibi will be able to explain much better than I do. But these tags where you can just type in a word and every document that has that word in it will come up. So it's just been, and for our team meetings, I can share notebooks with the team so we can look at what each person's doing. And last but not least, and then I really want to turn this over to Bibi, is you never know where your next great idea is going to come from. And so what was really, I wouldn't say it was anxiety producing for me, is I might be at a soccer game, I might be at a doctor's appointment, I might be at the gym, and a great idea comes and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have any paper, I don't have a pencil, you know? But with Evernote, I can record my ideas in a notebook on the go anywhere because it syncs with all your devices. So hope you guys are getting a lot out of this. I just can't say enough about it. But now I want to turn it over to our expert, Bibi Goldstein. And Bibi, tell us what your big ahas, your experience is with Evernote as a whole for entrepreneurs and business owners.
Well, I think that the biggest thing that I've found is that as entrepreneurs, most of us are working virtually, either out of home offices, or we have our team kind of scattered all over the place, could be nationally or internationally. And one of the things that I found about Evernote that was really great, because I have team all over the country. I have staff in Connecticut, in Maryland, in Florida, in Texas, in California. I mean, they're everywhere. And it's very interesting to me how easy it is to lose track of something because somebody's not in front of you. And I thought to myself, here I am in this business of selling virtual support. I got to figure out a way to make sure that happens with my team as well. And just like you, Joy, somebody turned me on to Evernote, and I always get a lot of people who kind of give me, try this, try that. And I downloaded it. And then it started to sit there, and it was taking up memory space. And I said, okay, I'm gonna try it now. And I put it into place, and the first thing I discovered was the work chat.
Oh, yeah.
The work chat was amazing because I could have a conversation and a consult with a potential client or a brand new client. Are we having some feedback?
I think it's okay.
Potential client, or even an onboarding process of a new client. And then I had to relay all of that information to my team who was going to take over those tasks. And the work chat was fantastic because I could take the notes, I could stick them in the work chat and share them with somebody else on my team. And voila, they had all of the same information that I did and could start right down the line with everything that we promised, or that even, let's talk about a consult with a potential client, that whole process of being able to, okay, I need to get them my price sheet, or I need to get them a contract, or I need to, they want to have some references, and to be able to share that with my assistant or someone who can then send that information off. And that was one of the great things about Evernote, was that it actually has check boxes in the notes. So when you create that, you can put a checkbox next to it so that when you go back and look at it, you can actually see that someone has completed that part of it. And the beautiful part is when we do an onboarding with a client, we can share that now with a client so they can see the process of everything that we committed to doing and see the checkboxes. And also, it reminds them of their deliverables when they need to get us information for whatever the project is.
I'm glad you brought that up because I love the boxes. And I know some of my team are watching and they're laughing because I have some unchecked boxes that need to be checked. So thank you for reminding me.
But that's something for me that I think is really great as someone who needs to be more involved with the big picture part of it, is that it's easier to kind of go through the notes and go, okay, there's things that we need to follow up on. And it's great to be able to use for our team meetings, and say, okay, so where are we with this and where are we with that? And that's one of the features that I absolutely love. The way I really want entrepreneurs to think about Evernote is it's kind of like having a filing cabinet in your head.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I always tease because, we always get things like this when we go to conferences and we have all these notebooks laying around and different things that people love to use. But, how often do you really go back and look at those notebooks?
So agree. Yeah.
And especially like when you're at conferences, and that was my second aha moment with Evernote, was that the whole syncing capability, that I could be sitting as a student in a room and take notes on my phone or on my tablet, and it would give me a to-do for my team or something like that. And then all of a sudden it's already shared and my team can see it. And I can take pictures of the slide, only that slide that makes sense to me, that I want to remember something about, and put that into my Evernote. You can take images and drop it right in. I encourage people to use it at networking events. How many times do you walk out of a networking event and you take a bunch of cards, and then the next time you take that purse or you wear that coat, all of a sudden you pull out all these business cards that you had.
That is so true.
And I encourage them to just do that right after, or even do it at the time and take a picture. And immediately it then goes into your Evernote, and you can do then with it whatever you want. So thinking of things in Evernote like a filing cabinet, like an inbox. So having a notebook that says new. I even have just having a notebook that says new, that if I'm creating it on my phone or on my tablet or someplace where it's not my normal stationary place of work, then I can go back to the new and go, okay, this I need to share with so-and-so. This can be filed into this notebook. This can be filed into this notebook. And that's when I tag them. You touched on tags, which is huge. There's a lot of times that when you think of something, you think of it differently next month than you did this month, right? So if you put the keywords that trigger you as those tags, that say, VA. So if you have that tag that says VA, then you know that when you search that, these are the things that you want to start to think about handing off to your VA. And you can come up with as many tags as you want. I tell people this all the time. Don't get hung up on having too many tags. I would rather you have too many tags than try and keep that, too organized in your head. What I caution people on is having too many notebooks. Really be clear about your organization within Evernote for your notebooks.
And I think,
I don't want to.
go ahead. I think that's why I don't want to press to everyone. It's not that it's hard to figure out how to use these types of apps. I mean, most are very simple and user-friendly and straightforward. But I think that the thing that benefited the most was having someone, and in this case it was Bibi and her company, come in to train our team on how to use it, because we didn't start out making those rookie mistakes. We were able to just sort of go really fast paced on with Evernote because we understood from the very beginning how to use it. And I wasted a lot of time when I first downloaded the app, just sort of trying to do things here now and then. And now it's just Evernote has become the tool to run my company now. So we're using it every day, all day long, and we don't even think about it. As a matter of fact, I said to my husband recently, I said, if Evernote were a man, you might have to get worried. Because I am loving it. It's just been that good. But tell us about one of the things that I'm curious about, because I haven't even had a chance to implement this one strategy with Evernote, but I'm excited. Tell us about Web Clipper.
So Web Clipper is one of the most awesome features. Well, so there's two things that I want to touch on, and so remind me, but one of them is Evernote Web Clipper, and then email and Evernote email clipper. So I want to talk about those two things because I think for entrepreneurs, this is huge. Most of us are writing articles, are blogging, are a variety of different things where we come across a topic or something and we go, oh my God, that would really be cool. I need to remember to write about that. But you are, I don't know, sitting somewhere that you can't actually write it down, or you can't take the URL down, or you can't do those kinds of things. So Web Clipper is fantastic in the sense that I start with first thing, I start with the voice note. So if I happen to be someplace that I can't actually write it down, I do a quick voice note in Evernote that says, whatever the URL is. Then when I can go back, I go to the URL, and it's beautiful because Web Clipper, you can actually take screenshots, or you can take a specific article that's on that page, or you can take the entire page and clip that into a note as it might relate to blog topics or, again, because we all should have support. I look at the things that I want to talk to my business coach about, the things that I want to, talk to a client about, and I use it for all of those things. I may see something, I may see something related to social media and clip it and go, I need to send this to Debbie, so that she looks at this, and that's the way that Web Clipper. I know that initially, the first I had heard of Web Clipper was a friend of mine was actually using it when she was planning a wedding.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so a lot of research goes into that and a lot of different websites and looking at a variety of different things. And so she created these notebooks that were, flowers and then table covers and then cakes. And she was just web clipping like crazy. But it kept her so totally organized with it. It was fantastic.
And it's paperless.
Yeah. Paper. Get rid of paper wherever you can. There's no need to keep receipts once you put them into things anymore. I mean, and a lot of people use Evernote for that too, where they will take pictures of their receipts and stick them right into Evernote if they don't want to use an actual app that's for their accounting software.
Yeah.
So there's just so many different things.
Yeah. And I think you just hit on something, that I didn't mention before. I'm using it for personal and business. So I have personal notebooks, which are obviously surrounded by my things around my family, things that are personal to me. And that's just been a huge help because there's no more to-do lists or Post-it notes, in the kitchen area. Everything's in Evernote, so it's a lot neater. And then I have, of course, my business notebooks that I use. So I'm using it exclusively for everything in my life. It's really freed me up. I can be in the middle of, a basketball game with my daughter, and all of a sudden I see something or I remember something, and I just go to Evernote, and, put in an audio message or I type it, whatever, depends. But it's been a time-saving tool. I guess one quick thing I want to ask, Bibi, is if someone here is really excited about what we're sharing, and they downloaded the app, what would you suggest? Obviously, the first thing they should do is call you. Okay. Bibi at buyingtimellc.com. But what's the first thing they could do to sort of get into it and start using it and feel productive with it?
So I think that the best place to start is, as I mentioned before, these things, the notebooks. What are you taking notes about now? And start to put them into your Evernote. Use it on your phone. More than anything, most of us, we never leave any place without our phone, right? Right. So if we don't, it's always by our side. Yeah. And use Evernote on your phone first. I think that's the best way to actually get you moving on it, because then you'll start to take the notes. You'll start to use the voice note. You'll start to use the camera, the camera clipper. There's so many different things. And, I want to touch on something because I think that it's really, really interesting. You mentioned that I provided training for you and your team, right? And how long had Evernote been sitting for you before you contacted me?
At least a year and a half.
Okay. And how long of a training did I provide to you and your team?
It was 90 minutes.
90 minutes. And you said that you reduced your email.
By 50%.
By 50%.
We calculated it. By 50%. It's incredible. You know what it is? It's freeing. It's freeing. That's the only word that I can think of right now to really describe it. It's freedom. Yeah.
And for a 90-minute training, and you're probably spending about $30 a month in the Evernote business. Yeah. You guys have saved time that has now allowed you to be more productive in other areas that you really can be spending your time. Yeah. So that's the part that is always difficult to translate to people. But when we talk about money, when we talk about time, people put those in the same bucket. And when you can equate it that way and say, how much more money have you made by getting rid of that 50% of time that you're spending wasted on emails that you are now spending supporting a client for an hour, or, being able to work on more of your programs and things like that, as opposed to answering emails. Yes. Answering emails. It's so simple. And, on that note, I do want to mention in the business version and the premium version, if you have Outlook, there is what I use a lot, which is an email clipper. So a lot of times there's an email that somebody sent me that might have like a login and password or something in it that I need and that I might want access to later. A lot of times what I'll do is in the email, I have the little emblem just like in Web Clipper that allows me to save that email to Evernote immediately.
Wow. Yeah, right. Yes. Yes, that's a great feature. I love that.
Great tool.
Yeah, great tool. So, I think that if you love this chat and you enjoy us, this is who we are, our style, this is exactly who the three of us are, then you may want to consider, if you want to hear more from Bibi about Evernote and you'd like to learn more, if you're a woman in business, or maybe we have a few guys who've joined us, you're welcome to. that you really want to learn how to grow your business to be whatever level of success that you want, and that's your own definition, but doing it without burning out and having freedom in your life, you may want to consider attending. I've got an event coming up on January 20th through the 22nd here in Los Angeles. It's called the Moxie Retreat. And if you look the word Moxie up in the dictionary, if you feel like if you are or if you want to become courageous, bold, confident, secure in who you are as a woman business owner, that's what Moxie means. And those are the kind of women we attract to the event. Debbie will be there. Bibi will be there. I'll be there. And a whole host of other amazing women. We are almost 50% sold out for the event now. But if you're interested in joining us, you can go to moxieretreat.com. Bibi Goldstein herself is actually going to be doing a much fuller, more robust explanation and rich training, diving deeper on Evernote at the event, right, Bibi?
Yes.
She's going to really take us a lot deeper, and I'm going to be there to talk more about my experience in using it. And so if you like this, you ought to think about coming on down and joining us at moxieretreat.com in January. This is the second one, and all the ladies who attended last year are coming back this year because it was so good. We're having the event on the water, right on the Pacific Ocean here in Los Angeles, actually in Redondo Beach. The setting is absolutely outstanding, and you can see photos of that on the page at moxieretreat.com. If you have any questions at all about the retreat, about me, about Bibi, Art might take to talk about Bibi, or about Debbie, you can just email my team at info@smartwomensolutions.com, and they'll be happy to answer any of your questions. But I do encourage you to think about coming on down and joining us. Any last words or tips, Bibi, today?
I encourage all of you to come join me at Moxie. I am very excited about the training that I'm putting together. It's going to be fantastic. We're gonna put it out there so that those of you who have not even downloaded it yet and want to do it there, we'll set you up there. And those of you who've been using it for a couple of months, it's going to be great for anybody. And I love teaching. This has become such a big love for me. And I've done these workshops and things now, and seeing the light bulbs go on and seeing how people are using it, I can't tell you how important it's going to be for you to be there.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time, and you know what? It's the perfect time of year. It's snowing, hailing, raining in January, and we're going to be on the ocean, 4 days, retreating and working on your business and laughing at the rest of the country because the weather's going to be absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning here in January, which is why, and the fact, there's a big influx of people that come to California after the Super Bowl. Maybe you'll love that because they look at not the Super Bowl, but the college games. They look at the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day and they say, "I'm moving," right? So it's a great place to be, and it's going to be a small event, no more than 100 women. I keep it small because I want to meet every single person there. It's not a large event. And I do this for a reason. It's small and intimate. I'm getting feedback now, huh? Sorry about that. So anyway, I hope you'll join us. I hope you enjoyed this interview that I did today with Bibi Goldstein of Buying Time with Evernote. It's changed our business completely. We are so much more productive. And ladies and gents, if you're more productive, become more profitable. And isn't that why we started our business anyway?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So join us. And thank you so much for joining us today here. This was fun. This was my first blab that I heard. So, thank you. And we'll be back. And Debbie, thank you so much for being such a great scribe. Yeah. And, I think, any other questions from Nancy, Debbie?
No.
We're good. Okay, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.